What's going on, guys? Back again today with the ZF-5 SBR. All right, guys, so today should just be a quick one. I want to talk about parts compatibility with the Zenith. Now, Zenith is still new to the market. If you see my video a few weeks ago, when I first got this, had it in pistol form, SBR'd it right away. Even though they're new manufacturing to the market, the platform obviously is not new to the market. So there's a lot of aftermarket parts available, a lot of ways you can customize these things, as old as a platform as they are, and make it your own. So what we're going to talk about today is parts compatibility and what I found so far with the ZF-5. But first, let's run. Dang! Couldn't get the slap. All right, so what you just saw there was two different mags. One was the Zenith branded mags that came with, swapped to an MKE mag. So obviously all of these mags are gonna be interchangeable. HK mags, Zenith mags, KCI mags, MKE mags, POF mags, any of the mags that you have that you've collected over years will work on this gun. So that's easy, right? Let's talk about some of the other stuff. What most people, I think, find issue with any variation of an Mp5 gun, clone, whatever, whoever makes it, whoever you have, special builds, whatever, sometimes parts compatibility can be hit or miss. Now, I have various parts, you know, from all types, all kinds, companies, whatever, however you want to describe it. I've got a bunch of different parts. So this is a classic A3 old style stock. This is an actual HK stock. This did, as you can see, fit on this gun. I will say that the fit on this was pretty tight. So some parts you might know, and if you've tried it, like the brace that was on here before, that went on nice and easy. Wasn't loose, but it went on easy. This was very snug. So I got it all the way down. I had some gap in the where the pinhole was. Had to take a rubber mallet and just tap it on the rest of the way. So would I prefer that? It really depends. Sometimes I feel like it shouldn't be that hard. But again, all of these have just very slight variances from manufacturer to manufacturer, and also just from overall gun to gun. Sometimes, you know, when these are folded and made, you know, even by HK themselves, sometimes there can be very, very small variances that can cause a fitment issue where something is too tight or too loose. Most of the time that I've seen, it's always on the tighter tolerance side, which again, is not bad. Tighter tolerance is good because you don't want things wobbling around. But it was worth noting that this particular stock on this gun was very tight and it needed to be tapped on with a mallet. Again, is that an issue? No, just something to note. All right, so here we are with the Bnt setup. This is a Bnt stock, Bnt handguard and foregrip. So a lot of times, I've only seen really one time where an Mp5 clone, where the front handguard situation was off enough where it potentially could have been an issue. Mostly, there's really nothing to worry about the front handguards. Everything matches up. I saw one time where, on a different gun, where the weldment here for the strap and the pinhole was in a position that was a little too far forward. And what happened was, putting on the handguard, the alignment was just slightly off. You could tell there was too much of a space back here. But with the Zenith, that is not the case. Everything matches up that I've seen in my parts that I've had. Everything here has matched up perfectly on the forend. This stock, it's worth noting, if you were thinking about this stock or have this stock, it is a little easier to get on than my particular A3 German stock that I have. So this didn't take taps of a rubber mallet to get on. This can go on with hand pressure. And the pin took a little bit of a tap to get in, but it went on easier than the A3. So let's run this, see how it goes, and hopefully I'll get a better mag change this time and get a proper slap. Ah, I forgot. Dang. What's funny is forgetting to rack the charging handle, right, and lock it up. I didn't get the slap, but because I'm familiar with this, I noticed that right away. My shit, rack it back, good to go. So I think for me, my ideal way to do it is to lock the handle, strip the mag, new mag in, slap it down. You will see some people do it the other way, where they'll strip the mag, then just rack. Again, two different ways to do it. I think the proper way to do it is to lock it back first. Maybe I can get James Williamson to chime in here and let me know if that is the correct method. But in my mind, the proper way is that. Fumbled out. Looks like I need some more practice. I'm gonna get a good one here. Fuck! Oh, I'm gonna blame the gear. I don't have a proper mag carrier right now. It's just in my pocket. Let's do it again. Third time's a charm. It was better, decent. God, you know what I noticed now? Not a bad thing, and it could be the locking portion where the charging handle locks into place. On this particular Zenith is a very good notch. I've seen notches that are not as recessed or as deep as this. It just feels like this charging handle is really locking in there really securely and nice, which again, not a bad thing. But trying to get that slap, what's happening is I'm not holding it tight in this hand. I'm used to just kind of reaching over and smacking it, you know, not too hard, and it'll go down. This one really seems like I gotta give it a good HK slap to get that thing going. So let's run it one more time. I'll be deliberate, see if we can't get a good change. All right, I swear this is the last time. Sure, we're in there, here we go. Almost forgot. All right, so last but not least, in the classic A2 configuration, I have a USA made and a German made A2 stock, and this one got on. What's funny is when I first tried to put this stock on, you know, a couple weeks ago, I couldn't get it on. It felt a little too tight, and I thought maybe, well, you know, sometimes these American made stocks, you know, are different, right? It's not gonna be perfect. So I was like, well, I'm not using this one anyway. I tried the German one, same thing, I really couldn't get it on. But this time, I appreciate a tight tolerance, so no knock on that. But what I need to do is just take a tiny, you know, just a rubber mallet, and once I had this started, I gave this portion just a little tiny gentle tap, close that gap just a little bit because I couldn't hold it with one hand and do it. I gave it 2 taps, and then I could push it down with my hand. So this actually went on a lot easier than I anticipated it to get on. And then the pin went through, I had to give that just a tiny little tap to seat all the way in. So everything I've had so far on this gun has worked. So if you're worried about parts compatibility, the Zenith line is pretty solid. Some are a little tighter, some are a little looser. That's just gonna be depending on the part, depending on the gun. So yours may be a little different, but it's working. So another thing I can't speak on are the lowers. I don't have any push pin full-size Mp5 lowers. I have one on my old MKE, but that's a K model, so you know, obviously a different setup back here, so I couldn't try it. given how everything else has worked so far, I wouldn't be hesitant to get one. Sometimes with those lowers, whether it's German or otherwise, you know, they can be a little tight. Sometimes modification may be needed on any of these parts. Sometimes that is the case. However, I wouldn't be scared at this point knowing that all the parts I've tried to put on here have worked. So I feel confident in getting one of these and it being able to work for me with little to no modification. So there we are, guys. Let's rock and roll with this last one. Call it a day. Don't forget Steve Mp5 on Instagram. See you next time. I want to get this mag change. Here we go.